I was like, oh my god. Everything that I go to, yeah, everything we do when I go grocery shopping, I start looking, spinning. They have one little section Safeway for like that. I'm so less. Hard. I like to cheese. And I wanted a baconator. You know what they forgot? Yeah, that's the key ingredient for baconator. I walked in there, I was like, can I get my nader fixed? They're like, we don't sell a nader. Well, obviously we don't sell baconators. You ain't got no idea bacon. I ain't Jewish. I'm a baconator. They're like, oh, we're out of bacon. Signed up, this is out of bacon. I wouldn't order baconator. I know. I'm like, oh, people never runs out of stuff. Oh, I'm so I know, it's there and it's like, and I'm like, okay.
Huntington, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Dorian, good to see you. Starting here shortly. Space is set. 2 tonight.
So, well, here's the story. The first cut came around, I bailed it, and you got 3 bills.
I call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. September 26, 2024. Frank, will you please flag roll call, please.
What's up,
Ms.
John?
Adams? Here. Mr. Brawley? Here. Ms. Dona? Here. Mr. Romero? Here. Mr. Gordon? Here. Madam Mayor?
Here. Approval of the agenda, we have to add under new items, F, Black Hills quote. Under new on F.
What time did it start?
Can I get approval of the agenda with the addition of the Black Hills? Roll call, please.
Mr. President? Ms. Adams? Yes. Mr. Brawley?
Yes.
Ms. Dona? Yes. Mr. Romero? Yes. Mr. Gordon?
I didn't hear what you wrote, what did you say?
We can't hear you. Can you use the microphone?
Mr. Gordon?
Yes.
Brother?
I said, yes.
Approval of the regular meeting minutes for August 22nd, 2024.
Good to see you.
I make a motion that we accept The minutes for August 22nd. Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Ms. Adams? Yes. Mr. Mahat?
Yes.
Ms. Galvin?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Mr. Thorne?
Yes.
For the regular meetings, you want?
Were you here for that one?
Yeah, he was here, it was the last one that we had, the special meeting.
I did watch the video, so would I be able to remark on that?
Take a vote.
For that special meeting on the August the 28th, you were here.
Yeah, he's been here for all.
You only missed one meeting.
Yeah.
So we're asking if you want to approve the special meeting for August the 28th. We need a motion to approve the special meeting for August 28th.
I motion we approve the special meeting for August 28th, 2024. Second.
A motion to approve the special meeting minutes for September 7th.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Barajas?
Yes.
Ms. Galvin?
Yes.
Mr. Romero? Mr. Thorne?
September what, 27? I haven't got that one.
The 17th.
17.
That's the one you missed. I think you'd have to abstain, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
had
when you
to-
wasn't here.
Yeah.
You'll have to abstain. I watched it on video, I wasn't physically here. So am I,
You didn't call in.
didn't watch.
You didn't notify them that you were going to watch it online or on Zoom, because you could have watched it on Zoom.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't notify that I was watching it on Zoom, but I did tell Angela that there's a strong possibility I wouldn't be here. I mean, so am I like penalized because I missed a meeting?
Did you notify the council that he was not going to be here?
No, I don't really remember. I mean, you could have said it, but I've got about a million things on my plate right now, so if I missed it, it's my bad.
Mine.
Can you just thank me? I missed a meeting. I did, Ken. What do you want?
What was that was?
You want you will not make comments. We're having a meeting, okay?
I will make any comment
No,
I
you
choose. I have the
won't,
right.
because if I have to ask you to leave, I will ask the officers to escort you out. Thank you.
Your threats don't work
This is
here.
your first warning.
Excuse me,
Been
but the
down that
officer,
Robert?
wait, hold on a second.
No,
The
you don't
officer,
have
the
the floor.
deputy cannot remove anybody if they don't pose a physical threat to somebody in
No,
the room.
let me
Where's
tell you.
public comment? You just move right past it?
Look, I'm gonna read you something because I'm not, this meeting, you're not gonna make a circus like you did with Donald.
You make it a...
But you're making it that
No,
way.
I'm not.
Yeah,
making
you
a
do.
circus.
You're a cross between
You don't
Donald
have the floor,
and
so
Tyler.
You guys didn't even make a motion to the agenda, amend the agenda, so this meeting really isn't even legal right now. There was no motion. You just approved it.
There was a motion. I don't know where you
No,
were, but
she said,
Excuse me, you don't have the floor.
Well,
You're not
apparently you
being
don't know how
acknowledged.
to run the meeting, so somebody has to tell you how.
So we have,
Skip public comment.
the town has ordinance, okay? A person commits disrupting lawful assembly if intending to prevent or disrupt any lawful meeting, procession, or gathering, he or she significantly obstructs or interferes with the meeting, procession, gathering by physical action or any other means.
And when was the ordinance passed?
Disrespecting lawful assembly is misdemeanor.
When was this
And
ordinance
it will
passed?
be enforced. That
When
is
was
why
this
we have
ordinance
two
passed?
officers.
It has never been enforced because,
Robert, you do not have the floor.
Donald has asked them to remove me 7 times, not 2 or 3, 7. And they have never
Mr.
removed me
Aguilar, I'm not
because
giving
I
you
have
again.
not violated that.
I know, I
Passed.
think, and I could be wrong, but isn't there a public, like a spot where you get to step up there towards the end of the meeting and bring that
Yeah,
up?
my name's on there.
Yeah, she skipped that already.
But
You'll have to hold on.
when it's her turn.
Right, no, I understand.
No, I'm
I understand.
clarifying it for her
No,
because
I don't
she,
need
she, she's
clarification.
listening to me, okay? So that is the main thing, if when you get your chance, bring it up, okay? So what she is doing, she is doing the main part, which is trying to enforce the blurting
I
out.
understand that.
I didn't know, I never heard that you
It's-
were not
I
coming to
understand
the
that.
meeting,
Oh,
okay?
you guys
It
can go
isn't
talk.
that we don't care, we don't, there's, you know.
Is there a penalty or punishment for me missing the
No,
meeting?
you just have to abstain from voting because you weren't there.
Well, I didn't, she did.
When did I start?
That's it.
Okay, so that's
It's
fine.
done. It's done.
All I said was.
You guys are being disruptive.
The board was not
Point
advised
of order, Mayor.
about you not coming. That's all I said, Vernon.
By abstaining, that it's not penalizing you in any way. The first meeting that I was here, I didn't abstain when I wasn't there at a previous meeting because I was just seated. Abstaining just means you weren't here. That's all it means, right?
And the only question I asked was, you know, was I should on Zoom, and was I able to comment? That was the only question. You know, it's not that, to me, it's not that big of a deal. If you don't want me to comment, that's fine. I'll bring it up at a, you know, if it's that important, I'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting. But all this just because feelings are hurt, however this is going. Yes, I missed the meeting. I apologize for missing the meeting. I should have called the office. I didn't. I talked to someone else. So can we continue?
Are you on roll call? So do you move to accept his, to vote or abstain? Are you going to abstain? Or are you gonna vote?
Am I allowed to do either?
I don't know. We'll poll the board and see what they.
So what do we need to do, just so they can move on? I don't care either way. If he watched it, I don't care if he comments. If you need to abstain, it's really, when it's all said and done, it really doesn't matter.
So I vote yes.
Donald's recall.
Oh,
4 months.
4 months.
We call, Sue Lawson up, please.
Last meeting, you asked us to give you time to get things together and to sort things out, correct?
Yes.
Okay, then we deserve the time to react, okay? Every one of you were voted in by them, okay? We don't work for you, you work for us, number one. Number two, last meeting, you broke your own rules by amending a special meeting agenda, okay? If you don't want us to break rules, don't you do it too. Okay? I'm not intimidated by you, okay? I don't think you have the, mentality or temperament to be the mayor, okay? And you're proving you don't disrespect us anymore.
Okay?
They're not bothering me.
It doesn't matter.
Disrupting the meeting.
Right.
They didn't disrupt anything.
Are you gonna finish your
I am
3
finished.
minutes?
Point order.
I am finished.
Okay. We did not break by amending the agenda. We found out that we can amend the agenda in a special meeting. We just found out. It's in the source of manual, correct, Sarah?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, well then I'll
Say
give you
so.
that one, I'll take that back.
There- Away from Bernie, because he brought everything to light, okay? But now, let us do our job. There's a lot. I mean, meetings were not attended, you know, and we just have a lot to do, a lot.
I get that.
I'm
I
playing
do get
catch
that.
up from the last, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, probably from
Nobody wants to hear her.
2 mayors ago, you know, and so,
This is how your time
because
to speak goes.
everything was
She
neglected,
fucking runs shit.
She can,
I have everything on my plate.
That was another question, speaking of everything on your plate. The last meeting,
Reclaim.
you said you were uncomfortable putting your name
Reclaim
to
your
the
shit.
reports. And your response was, well, who's gonna do it? Isn't that your job?
No.
You're the mayor.
No,
You're the one in
it
charge.
was, see, there's a misunderstanding here. We are only doing letters of acceptance. We're not approving because we have nothing to do with the budgets that are missing.
And Sarah,
No. But Sarah works in the office, okay? So I'm not sure, quite sure what you're not understanding. This is, she was here, I wasn't here. And so it was explained to us, correct, Angela?
Right.
It's
So
a letter
let me clarify this.
of
okay?
acceptance.
The letters from James Ray, the one that's handling the audits now, okay? He went through and kind of explained, and basically what he needed us to sign off on was the complete mismanagement of the previous year's books. And that he needed us to sign off that what he could compile was the best that he could do, and was to the best of our knowledge, was the best that he could pull together, and that we'll accept that, basically. And so both Erlinda and I signed off on that, so we could get the 2019 budget has now been officially submitted, or not the budget, the audit, to the state.
Thank you.
Okay, to Crystal Dorsey,
And
okay?
he is, James Ray is working, I think he's halfway through 2020. That's what I said, we're playing catch up. It's
I
not about me
understand.
to fix it.
we're willing, okay, to work with you as a team. I just asked them, when did the meeting, the workshops come back?
They'll come back, we just had some look out,
Why
there's some
have we
things
lost?
that we missed, okay?
That I'm trying to make the most of us want to work with you, okay? But we want to be just a little more kindness.
Okay, your 3 minutes are up. Thank you.
Pardon?
Your 3 minutes are up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did the council vote on signing off on 2019?
No,
They didn't? Isn't that,
till then,
so the two of you make decisions around the council?
we didn't. We brought it to the council and told them that it was done, and there's where we were trying to, like, nobody wanted to sign it.
I just asked you that and you said no.
You just said no.
Okay,
Liar.
that it?
This bitch is a liar, y'all.
Joshua Lloyd.
Fucking lying bitch. And that's
good evening. So, last meeting you said the people asked for a new mayor and a new board. Correct?
Go in and talk to them, I'll answer when you're done.
It was a rhetorical question, so don't worry about answering my questions, please, and don't interrupt me. Thank you. So, they asked for a new board and a new mayor. They recalled Donald for the same things that you were doing. You just lied right in front of friggin' everybody. I am so sick and tired of seeing these people not being treated correctly. I am so sick and tired of not seeing transparency. You know what else I'm sick and tired of? I'm sick and tired of you guys not handling your responsibilities. So, these are letters of intent that Mr. Jaron Stephanie sent it back. Certified mail, sent it back.
Okay, let me stop you.
No!
Shut up.
Don't interrupt my 3 minutes!
Do not
Don't
raise
interrupt
your
my
voice.
3 minutes! Don't interrupt my 3 minutes!
Let me see you do something.
Lower your.
You can be as loud as you want.
He's gonna keep his 3 minutes, but he doesn't need to lower his voice.
No, no.
Do not.
Do not
Stop
interrupt my
interrupting.
3 minutes. Do not interrupt me. That is very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Again, these people put you into power. You didn't put yourselves into power. You keep treating these people like you have been treating them, guess what? You're going to be the second mayor recall.
Right after the election.
Ma'am,
Sorry.
I will have you removed.
Shut up.
This is my last warning.
She can make comments during my 3 minutes. How about that? Yeah, she can because I gave her permission. Yeah.
No.
All right, I tell you what, considering as hell, you want to keep interrupting me, I get my 3 minutes back.
That's fine, go ahead.
Great. Fuck. Shit. Come slut dumpster. Tired.
Would you remove him, please?
No. Freedom of speech.
No.
Yes,
Yes,
it
Your
is.
language
That is my freedom of,
Yeah, Angela, give permission.
remove me. Remove me now.
Angela, give permission, Mayor.
Remove me now, so I have a 1983 claim against
The
you.
attorney, he can come up here and tell us to F off as long.
She was here.
Give him his 3 minutes
She was here.
and then leave.
So, ma'am, you can go ahead and, you want to talk about disrespect and disrespect.
Shut up.
All the women.
Point of order.
in the audience? Okay, go ahead.
That is my freedom of speech. If they get offended by my freedom of speech, that's their problem.
Go ahead.
Someone
Give
time
me 3
this.
minutes. Reset him.
Reset. Go ahead.
Josh, they don't care about us.
Who rules? That's what we're dealing with, guys. Who's the ruler here? What can they take from these people? Right?
Okay. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out.
Bob hates the word fuck again. Breaks his nut every time. Poor guy.
Robert Aguilar.
My chest ain't working well. Here comes Robert.
Oh my gosh.
I just have a couple things I want to talk about. First one was, are you guys going to reprimand Gerald for giving Stephanie to write Ken Torres' check after the board said that they were supposed to vote and approve all the checks?
Which check are you talking about?
The last one that we're doing was at 3,700.
I don't know, I don't know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
They never know shit.
So it was the one that she talked about at the August 22nd.
just went through bills and 2 meetings ago approved June and July, and we did not approve anything for Ken Torres.
No, I did.
Stephanie specifically said that, Gerald gave her permission to write that check and give it to her.
Sure
I
did.
do kind of remember something about that.
Sure did, Gerald.
The last day we tried to kill, I don't know the name off my head, but we tried to put in Gerald, payroll for us and the Ken's check.
They do what they want.
Probably the interim mayor at that time. But he did not get that to the board after the board voted to have all
Right,
of the checks
well, that's
approved
an
by the
issue.
board.
Is that one of the ones that bounced? It did clear.
I think that was Ken's very last, that we paid him since you guys didn't see it, but I don't know why.
Yeah, and he just, rest assured, he has not received another penny since then. If that was approved,
Right, it should have been approved.
it should have been approved by the board,
And not
absolutely.
just Gerald.
I will look into it.
Correct.
The only other thing I wanted to talk about was, just something that Sue was saying, if there's more, if there's better interactions with board members and the public, none of us will want to start talking in the middle of the meeting.
That's understandable. Again, it's hard, I sat out there too, in that audience, and was looking at all the people up here going, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And to say, we know that there's been issues with past mayors, past town, and it was real easy for me to sit out there and, point my finger and make judgment at all the people sitting out here until I got into this seat, and it was like, holy crap. The amount of emails, I've been on this board 2 months, and I have got a box this big full of paperwork already that we're trying to get through and trying to clean up literally 15 years of the past administration.
Most of us are willing to work with you guys on that, and we're glad that you're going to start a workshop.
Yeah.
And that was our solution to this, was a workshop, so we've had one.
Right, and we had to skip one, but we had a couple of things, like I said, some legalities and things that came up, that we needed to get through, but they will start again, and I think we should actually probably try to schedule the one for next month. Right,
Well,
the next
we're
month, and
scheduled
then
every
a special
second
meeting.
Thursday of the month, though.
Right.
And the legalities, I think, I was told was COVID. So it's,
That too, yeah, I was exposed to COVID, or Linda was exposed to COVID, I sit next to, a senior person, I'm at risk, I have, comorbidities,
but
there's
the
several
time doesn't
people.
stop because the member can't be here.
Yeah, and we're gonna work on that in the future, if somebody can't attend, just like you could actually sit in by Zoom to comment and still participate, just like the attorneys and, other people have, so we're gonna make sure we do that going forward. However, it was, Erlinda was showing signs of possibly having it, and I was really highly exposed, to my neighbor, and she had tested positive, and I was helping her because she had to go to the hospital, and so it was like, and I was feeling a little off myself, so I wasn't gonna chance it.
That goes on to the
Thank you. Ken?
There's 3 issues we're bringing up. Thanks for removing the steel beams on Rivera Street.
You're welcome, sir. Thanks, Gerald.
And the issue of stray dogs, killing cats, dogs that got into windows and to be literally chased out of there. I noticed the dogs that don't have any collars and.
It's a big problem, and if I didn't have 20 other things on my plate, that's kind of one of my passions are the animals. And believe me, if I could do something about that right this moment, I would. I'm sorry, but go ahead, I didn't
Okay,
get
the recycle cans, I wonder if they're gonna be returned, because I was using them,
I'm sorry, the what?
the recycle cans.
Next year,
Bob at, the Mercantile had mentioned possibly, you know, as a gift to the town, bringing those back. I used them too extensively, and I've got the back of my car loaded up with recycle. So, you know, if Bob isn't willing to do that generous gift for us, I'd look for that
Tap
too.
screen,
You know,
guys.
it's not
Tap, tap.
necessarily a priority. We've got
Get
a
those
lot
lights
of
up.
other really important things to deal with. But as soon as the
Fuck
money
these
frees
people.
up a little
Fuck
bit,
that
I would
remember,
love to
bitch.
get those back.
I think if Bob brought,
Great
showed
dictator.
you an article, if, for next year, right, Bob? If you have,
Cannot
so the
stop
town
talking.
has, trash
She's the
service.
center of
So we
attention.
would qualify for free recycling.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Wasn't our last vote in the council vote to complete the year contract?
To eliminate, because we were trying to cut the budget. I mean, we're trying to cut,
I thought we were completing the year vote by the council before we
I
set it.
thought,
no, you all voted.
yeah, it was voted to
Do
go
away
ahead
with
and,
them.
you know,
But
yeah.
I thought it was to complete the contract we had going, so
I believe it was just to go ahead and end it. I could be wrong, but I believe, and that's why they picked them up.
To end it.
Yeah, it was the end of the
It
quarter.
was the end of the quarter, and then they were anxious, and they came and picked them up like the following Friday or something.
Yeah,
They are for real, John.
But we may be able to get them
They
back
don't know what
next
the
year
fuck they
for free.
voted on just like 2 months ago. They were drinking the fucking water, dude.
that would be nice.
You guys are fucking something else.
But you know, if everybody, let's say 90% of this community use those cans, they'd be filled up probably in a week's time.
Right.
I estimate about 10% of the communities use it to be filled up in a month's time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we actually, I took a poll when we were talking about removing them. I think I actually voted against removing them. Yeah, I
They don't
voted against removing them, and I kind of took a poll of the, community members, and about a third, I mean, we didn't have a ton of people here that day, but it was about a third of the people in the audience raise their hand that they use them, and I know I use them, Bob uses them. So, yeah, I think it's an important thing that, you know, we can do.
During the World War II, John was in charge of all of this scrap, you know, accumulation in the community. So that's really
It's so crafty.
Okay, well, do
Good
everybody
to see you
get back
guys.
anything else?
They double tap that screen. 20 in here. 16 likes. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go.
Thank you.
No shit, jack off.
Oh, the Solano guest,
Skip them.
he's not going to be here today.
what was the subject for talking?
Probably meetings,
Meetings?
conduct during the meetings.
Oh. Is- Oh, just the attorney. Is he on there waiting
Yeah,
for us?
here he is.
Hmm.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but I had a medical appointment that I had to take care of.
Can't hear him.
Can you speak up a little bit, sir?
Yo.
But I apologize that I couldn't be at the meeting. I had a specialist medical appointment. I had to leave in town any other day than today. Plan on being at the next meeting. and was the mayor. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Everyone here?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I plan on being at the next meeting, and I will go over the procedures and protocols that have been discussed with the sheriff's department. And the mayor did bring all those. They're the procedures that go with the state statutes that govern how meetings should not be disrupted, and the progressive way that people will be treated if they're not complying with the sheriff's recognition and procedures. So I'll be there in person at the next meeting.
Thank you, DA Solano.
Is there anything else, sir?
No,
Okay,
I'll
all
cover
right.
everything else when I up here next time.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very
What's
much.
up, Big Chuck? Good to see you, bro. That was the DA. He's gonna come
We'll move
discuss
on to your
conduct with us.
report, office report.
It's never, never.
And how much is delinquent total for the town? So if you go to the second page, the last column where it says 133.38 and go straight down, and you're gonna go to $19,407.62 delinquent. That includes gas, water, and sewer. This one. Yep, and if you go to the last page, and you go down that one, that 19,000, that's the total amount due to the town of Aguilar that from delinquent accounts.
She's who we think.
Stacy?
I was talking to her.
That's here, guys. Sorry. Demo.
Gas, water, and sewer. Anything else?
They said, I'm not part of it.
We have the project report, which covers the augmentation plan.
Legal. Legal.
Just
Fuck her.
On Ken's report, he made note that the town received notice from the Division of Water Resource. After their inspection of the augmentation reservoir in August, one manhole rim had been displaced and a lot of debris had plugged the flow line going through the augmentation station. Augmentation records the flow of water that the town gets credit for use of their wells. DWR informed Aguilar this needed to be corrected before we could use it. I went and cleared debris in the manhole and reset the rim and lid. And Deputy Water Commissioner inspected the work and approved the work on the manhole. They are waiting for approval from USDA to get the project complete.
Okay, thank you.
doing your projects. Frank and I have been doing the inventory of the vehicles that the town owns. We now give the list to the inventories, so
Yeah, we need it, actually, James Ray needs it for the audits. He keeps asking about some cop car. Do we own a cop car?
Yeah.
We consider three.
We own 3 cop cars?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes absolutely no sense. So, yeah, we need those inventories and we need to, I mean,
3 cop cars, no cops. That's perfect.
well, that's just it. So I don't know. I mean, there's gotta be some way to determine, make a determination of value of these things. And if we're not using them, then we need to sell them and generate some funding for the town.
I think that's something maybe that we could look at, and that would be, I don't know, auctioning off or the town vehicles that we're not using to generate some type of income.
well, you gotta get rid of them anyway. Why have so many?
Right.
We need 2 for maintenance. Marshall, if we ever get them.
So what we have in the garage is what's for maintenance. So you have the regular truck that was just recently purchased. You have the emergency vehicle. What else is in there?
Well, there's 2 emergency vehicles
In there?
and there's a black and a white. They're SUVs. And then we have the new truck and a white truck. It's in there that's leaking oil.
Don't forget the green one.
So we can, use your list and try to get a value and try to auction them off or
I mean, don't forget
sell
about
them,
the one that's
something.
over here, or the one that's in the yard over there. Or the fire truck.
Not when it was started, they've been sitting there for so long. Especially when it just garage and the ones out on the yard.
Or you sell them as is.
Like what type of equipment are you talking about that they use?
Of the old police cars.
The other thing about
Get that
selling
thumbs up,
that
guys.
is you have to sell them to someone certified for law enforcement, so it'd be something to look into.
Were those donated? Or were those?
They don't know. They don't know
That
that.
one big truck up there, that one with the transmission, that was donated, I think,
Sell them all out.
Pioneer or somebody.
Okay, well, I'd say let's, we need to, yeah, we need to revisit this, we got a lot to get through, we need to, so, yeah, we need to try to determine value, if we can sell them without mileage or equipment, figure out the equipment in it, whether it's sell them for scrap metal, I mean, we just need to figure out there's no reason that we have that many vehicles. So I'd say we table that.
Table it. You called it, Jen. That's a table.
Oh, yeah, and of course, the missing tractor, he just,
Couldn't hear it.
We
The
have
missing tractor.
Missing tractor and what?
Which one?
What's called?
Yeah, bottom of the sewer pump.
So.
Supposedly.
What,
Allegedly.
were those not insured?
Too late for the insurance claim now.
I think we could, if Sursa, we would call, I think we could call Sursa and see if it was insured. And if it was, if we can still file a claim. And if a claim was filed, we want to know where that money went.
while we're doing that, and it is project reports, what about the leak over at the community center? We need to file a claim on that to get that repaired.
How about the foundation out there in the front?
Smash
The
that thumbs
foundation
up.
out there, the standing water, so I mean, there's Yeah.
And after the meeting, there was a puddle of water right there, so it's all just forming right there.
Yeah, so I think we need to put that on our project report and for insurance claims.
For those things that you just said, I watched them as they installed the ADA ramp out here, and what happened was this inside wall, it was, there wasn't a footing put in specifically for that, so that wall was set on the existing.
On the original structure,
Yeah, on the outside, they put in footing, and they run the stem wall, which was correct. But
right?
when they came to the building, instead of setting another footing next to it with stem wall, worked it that way, they set it directly on the original
On the
footing.
original footing,
And
which
that
is
was never
100 years.
designed to carry this extra weight.
Yeah,
That's why we're having the problems up here, in my opinion.
So that ramp, if you don't have an automatic wheelchair, isn't it difficult to come up?
Yes.
Is it supposed
I
to
can barely
be
get up it with my walker. Sorry for interrupting. And I'm
ADA
48 years old.
approved? So, I mean, to me,
to me, it seems like it needs to go back to the contractor, and the contractor needs to fix it. So it was
I
the
don't know what his insurance is, but that, you know, there's better ways to do that, and if we can get back to working.
Ryan, could you say, keep it down, please? I'm sorry, who, were we saying about the original contractor?
If we go back to him and get the insurance to at least take the thing out, I mean, I don't see any other way. You probably want to.
redo it?
Huh?
Redo it? Is that what you want?
Well, I would think that it's only going to cause more problems because you see extra weight on an original footing that wasn't designed to take the weight.
So, are you saying is it better to contact the contractor or contact insurance at this point?
I would go to the contractor first,
Okay,
but my understanding is that he didn't submit a plan to be approved,
He did or didn't?
did not. So we'd have to start with him, find out, you know, what.
Well, I think we could get one of the girls maybe to pull up the contract. Was there a contract, Harold, you know?
There was a contract.
So
with
there
no
should
drawings.
be,
there should have been engineering on that.
Yeah, it note that part of it now, okay, that I know of. I was off the council besides this, but I never seen anything, and I asked several times.
Yeah, that's an issue. He should have provided engineering.
it should also have his insurance on there also, right?
Yeah, I mean, anybody, any vendor, any contractor that we're hiring, you should be getting their certificate of liability insurance. Okay. All right.
So we'll just have them pull up the original paperwork on that ramp and see what we could do.
Do we need to make any motions on this? I mean, 'cause we have that list. We need the community center, the leak in the roof. We have the ramp. What was the other thing that we had? Standing water, we got that. Oh, tractor. Okay, so I'll make a motion to, table the tractor and the, what's it called? The what?
Is it a bush or brush?
Bush.
Some people say brush, some people say bush.
It's not on the agenda.
Oh, we don't have to table,
No,
okay.
we just have to put it on there.
For the next meeting.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we've got a lot we gotta get through.
On old business, we're gonna go to 202 Grimes. Zoning.
What's the issue with so two grind?
I don't know, is somebody
It's gonna
here?
be commercial or residential. Nobody keep emailing, wanting an answer on what the work is. It's been a year.
Yeah, but no
Since
one
they first
gave the
came to the
people who
board.
live on Grimes any
Right, we
report
talked
on it.
about that, and we said, because I asked you, and you said no one ever contacted you
Or any of the
or
others.
anyone else on actually the surrounding area.
Yeah, because some kind of report needs to be made. They're gonna put in a fourplex, it's gonna mean possibility 8 more vehicles parking on that corner. You know,
8+.
8 more vehicles, if you have 4 apartments, there's a possibility of 2 cars per apartment. That corner is congested already with the people that are there.
Okay, so do we need to have a meeting with the citizens, or don't they get the input that,
Well, the citizens, the residents around that should be notified of the
There
changes
should
to
be
begin with.
something,
can we put that
a
on?
written document that should be, or have a rezoning meeting so that the public can
Can you
give
come?
input.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, either a special meeting, or could that be part of our workshop?
It could be part of the workshop.
We could do it that
So
way.
why don't we put that?
Don't you have to make a petition with the residents of that area, see how they sign? If they sign for
Well,
it or
could we do
against
the
it?
petition at the workshop?
And people there that live in that
But what
area.
if they don't attend the meeting?
I
Well,
would say that you mail to the residents
just mail
around
it to
there.
them?
Yeah, notice of zoning so that they're able to make a decision.
Okay. And if they can't make it to meeting, then what?
Well, there should be contact information up here because they should give a diagram of what they're putting there.
Okay.
You know, to give the people an idea of what you're going to do to our
Okay,
neighborhood.
so the people that want to put this there, have we gotten any plans or drawings or anything from them?
Yeah, they've turned in plans, but what was supposed to happen, the attorney was supposed to type up paperwork, send to the residents, and then 15 days later, we were supposed to have a public hearing for that. But the attorney resigned before that got done, so we haven't got that far. I believe we have to send a notice out. 15 days later, there has to be a public hearing, and then there it goes up.
They have to
Okay.
Yeah, we have to be public hearing.
Okay, so do we need to wait for the attorney again on this then? Okay. All right, so we have to table and we're gonna do the attorney, the update on the attorney. All
Well, we
right,
plan
I'm
on
going to table 202 Grimes zoning.
Pro Tem? Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Rojas?
Yes.
Well, the next meeting. we're gonna talk about the attorney.
We had to go out and
So
Raz
on the
train
town
close out.
judge,
He's sitting outside.
all I found was that he was appointed,
Sergeant.
and I tried calling him. I didn't get an answer, and I didn't have, you can't leave a message.
Okay, can't Sursa answer that for us, of whether we are required to have town judge
Well,
on?
there's something that came up though. There's a gentleman's interested in being the code enforcer. Yes, I don't remember his name right away, right off top. Donna's here. Who is that wanted to be the code enforcement? So we got an opportunity, if we can get code enforcement in here, then we
So if a
would
person
reach
wants
the
to
judge.
talk, you gotta call ahead of time.
And plus I would help
Or
the
did they put a
town
little sheet out there
together,
sometimes?
because right now we don't have a way to get.
You get here
Is it gonna come early?
Summons or citations.
Good night.
This town's going to crap.
It in.
So before we release the judge, let's look into this to at least give the man a chance, even if we done him part-time, a few hours a day or a few hours a week.
I'm sorry, what was his name?
Bob Gibson.
Has he put a proposal or any resume or anything?
I'm supposed to get everyone together on this. He's already been talked to by someone else, and the information is he gets a job as a code
Sorry,
enforcement.
guys.
He gets a job as a code
Sorry,
enforcement.
guys.
Then we'll give the judge. So
Nice
let's
job.
do the interview first, and if he's accepted, then we'll make a decision on
So
the
should
job.
we table the judge again then? Okay, make a
It would.
motion, I make a motion to table the judge. Okay, make a
It would.
motion, I make a motion to table the judge.
Second,
Roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem? Yes. Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Jones, Mr. Thorne.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 things tabled
I
so
know
far.
that we've had, numerous, numerous discussions on this.
Let's table it again.
And the water hauling, that was supposed to be settled. And the water hauling, that was supposed to be settled by the Mauricio well, settled by the Mauricio well.
I talked to them at the state, it's not that we had 30 days, as long as it's not that we had 30 days, as long as we keep sending in meter read while it's down.
This should be put on one of the important, and we stopped, so.
But we only stopped because we didn't have the money actually to finish the repair, right?
That was what was said, but there was,
Why no way?
there was two contractors that
What?
came in that were willing to work a deal.
Yeah.
There were two contractors willing to get from there.
When was,
So,
I swear, I must be like losing my mind, I don't remember, was that before me, or?
No, you were here.
when we talked about it, Ernie,
Mhm.
and then we said about the meeting with
State,
what is it, the Department of Water,
state.
what is it, Department of Water? Yeah, because that is when they told us that we were over on our water usage. And when we're over on the water issue, go ahead, Gerald.
Well, she just said that we cannot bring Mauricio well on the line until we get some of our issues cleared up.
What is really wrong with Mauricio? What,
Something with pipe.
The pipe isn't long
The
enough
pipe is not long enough to get
to
down.
reach the water.
the water table problems?
Possibly.
I mean, yeah, when the water went down.
And has it have been checked to see if it came up?
I don't think, nobody's done it.
No, really, wow, that's it.
Well, everything that needs to be.
Paying a lot of money.
We have everything to fix it, we just don't have the money to fix it.
They've already done
No,
the
it's
electrical and
getting
everything
where,
on it.
some of the vendors that the town has worked with in the past, everybody's waiting on money.
Well, the vendor that was working on it, was told that we didn't have the money to pay him and he backed off. But then he also said he's willing to make payment arrangements and we need to let him, at least offer us the arrangements because if we use that well, it would hurt the town.
Who was that again, that's willing to make payment?
Is that Ada?
Andrietta Drilling,
We should talk to them and see what they can do.
Andrietta Drilling out of Walsburg.
Keep
At least we get information of what it's going to cost and what we would have to pay on the payments, because whatever that is will be a lot cheaper than if we have to go in and start over with water courts and get this
Okay,
something
Sarah,
running
can
again.
you contact him
She's going to.
and then find out what he's willing to take in payments? Cause, we can slide him in,
Let us know
to-
what the amount is.
Right.
We don't
It
have-
was at $8,700.
Is that-
Yeah, but when we don't have it, that's a lot.
That's a lot where you don't have it.
Now, if we could collect, what we have on delinquent,
from the town?
Yeah.
From the town?
His name is Craig.
But if we don't know the answer of how much it will cost, we don't know where to start working to fix it.
Well, 8,700, that's the number.
Man, that's the first time I heard that
That's-
number.
right? It was like $8,700.
I never saw a number, I don't know where the numbers came up from.
Well, visit with him, Sarah.
Yeah, find out his numbers and bring them to the next meeting and put it on.
They just weren't off this guy.
Okay, so again, water hauling, and then,
Well, no. We have an issue.
do you want to say something?
Go ahead.
What's the matter with the gallery?
With what?
The gallery, right next to the Mauricio Road there.
I know there's a galley associated with the well, but I don't quite understand exactly how the galley works.
Did you contact?
The galley was took offline in, God, 2013-ish, somewhere around in there. The state took it offline because we weren't able to chlorinate it. The only reason they used to use it is because there's a pump in there. They would pump it back to the Mauricio well house through a bag filtration system, chlorinate it, and then put it back into the system that way. But all that was out when I showed up. It's physically in there, but it wasn't connected anymore. I guess it was antiquated or whatnot. So the state made us go down there and seal that galley off.
So it's basically a source of,
Yeah, it's a gigantic concrete tube right there on that sharp bend before the cattle guard. Water would just, it's like a water filter into it. There's an overflow and there is I think it's like an 8 or 10 inch pipe leading out, and it would just free flow gravity down to town. But without a chlorination source to it, we weren't able to use it.
They're out of water.
Who's out of water?
The people they've been calling to,
oh, yeah.
and whoever delivers it will not deliver water until they're paid in full.
Did we approve last week, did we approve payments to them?
They might be paid in full.
What's the balance?
Sorry, Angela, that's what I added on there on the 392, I think. You approved 301, and then I think we owed 392 more that day.
It was like
Okay, so
$600.
693. Okay, so we were just kind of talking before we started, and we'll get to this, we'll get an approval for the board. Comes down into the approval of bills to pay. We kind of just looked at it where we could reduce some of the bills to get this paid. So we'll bring that when it comes up for the bill paid, for the board to approve the ones that we want to adjust to get this paid for the water hauling.
So then, does the board agree to keep water hauling till
We have to.
the augmentation pond? It was an agreement that was made before.
Well, it's a Mauricio well that supplied water to him, so the augmentation pond wouldn't have nothing to do with it.
When that's complete, we'll have water to use. Will we be able to turn that well back on? Once the pond is finished and,
The Mauricio.
or in the,
I don't know.
court order is lifted?
I would need to read the documentation that Rachel gave us that day.
Okay.
I don't know how it read, when we could turn it back on.
Okay. So then does the board agree to keep water hauling so we can get the water situation?
I make a motion to continue water hauling. Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem? Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Broadhouse? Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
No.
Mr. Thorne?
Are we under legal obligation to haul it?
Yes. From what I understand, what,
Okay.
all the times it's on.
I'm assuming, Vernon, because it was something that was previously, and it should have come to the board, but it didn't. It was just something that was done.
But the thing was that then they paid for a water tap, and so they're not getting the water.
The water tap's been there, right? I mean, right? They purchased the property and it was already there.
I stand with my answer. I just, as far as the previous discussions we had, we're legally bound, and again, until we get this attorney to deal with some of this stuff, we have to keep some stuff status
I thought
quo.
discussion was
All
done.
right, so my vote would be yes.
Motion passed. Okay, the attorney, I need to set up, I don't know, do you want him to come in person or
Whatever we can do the quickest to get him on retainage, you know, let's get him interviewed.
which one?
Do Zoom, in person, whatever's gonna be quickest.
Okay,
Well,
and
three were recommended, and I only seen one in the packet. Was there a reason for that?
I didn't get any other recommendations. The ones that you had talked about, they didn't, the ones with Peter,
Yeah.
they didn't take it. Now, this is a Peter recommendation, and that's the only one that answered.
Okay, so, all right.
Yeah, the other one, there was a lady and then another gentleman. Yeah,
And
he
they're all
said
out
no.
of Denver.
Yes. So we'll agree to a Zoom meeting and what's gonna work for everybody.
We just scheduled in for tonight.
An evening? No.
He can't do a meeting.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he could do an evening meeting, but I thought you said for tonight.
No, I mean, why didn't we schedule in for tonight?
Because he just got, I messaged him and then I hadn't heard from him. I messaged him again and then I heard from him and he said yes, because when we get him and his son. We're gonna have both, both attorneys.
Yeah, we just, I mean, I'm good Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, whatever night it is.
Is it after, what's gonna work for you, after 5 o'clock?
Like 5:30, one of those nights.
I will message him tonight when I get home.
Do we have to do that in a public forum, or do a special meeting, executive session? What do we do on that? In a public, okay, so a special meeting, just, I mean, we just need to make it quick, because we're gonna do yet another special meeting
Right.
after workshops in like 2 weeks, so I think a special meeting for just, yeah, see what he has, Monday night, Tuesday night. Yeah,
Next Monday?
Monday or Tuesday, yeah.
Must have kinetic.
I will ask him if I get an answer, well, even Tuesday.
Maybe, yeah, maybe Tuesday, just to
Tuesday.
get it safe, yeah, Tuesday night, yeah.
Okay. So then we're just gonna set a meeting for him.
Well, I mean, obviously, we need to check with him tomorrow that Tuesday night works for him via Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, Tuesday night.
So then we will table the agreement.
Motion to table the attorney till,
Table it.
Tuesday night, as long as he's available, I guess.
Support.
We're gonna table it,
We have a legion meeting that evening.
Oh, every first
Why
Tuesday.
don't we just cancel the virtual meeting?
This is really important. I mean, I know that I'm not saying.
he
I'm
asked
gonna wait
if you
till-
could cancel the
We're
meeting.
building a table for
Yeah,
it,
I
guys.
guess we have to, if that's what you want to do.
You canceled last time. You
We're
canceled the
talking about
meeting last
American
time.
Legion
The
meeting.
American-
We could do ours on Wednesday. We could work
Yeah,
it
we
out
could
later.
work on it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you guys, this was like really important, I was hoping we'd have him hired by tonight, you
We can put out the legion meeting, no, I'm sure the guys would understand.
Okay.
Three of us here.
know. So, I motioned and you seconded, right? We have to do a roll call.
roll call please.
Mayor Pro, Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Broadus?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Mr. Thor?
Yes.
Mercantile liquor license.
I I motion to renew the license.
Second.
Their license.
Marty. You have it?
Did you say Marty?
Marty Coca? Or
That's holding a monthly payment?
Yes, see, I had talked about hourly and then like the contract fee.
I listened to some. So, my question would be, is it, because you
Well,
guys.
it just depends, because if you go both ways, we're still talking about charging licensing, water license of your hourly rate.
And I'm not trying to slow you down
No.
from getting the job part. My question would be, if you're a contractor, then I would like to see the contractor, because when Stephanie was interviewing you, she brought up a lot of things that I didn't know about, and I don't think anyone else did, of what your actual job duties would be. And I've seen here that if you're a contractor, there should be a written contract that works for both of us, to where your job duties are explained and everyone knows what you're going to be doing. If you're a salaried employee, then we'd have to make changes to the employee handbook to cover what your duties would be. And
I
then,
understand that because the company I work for part-time, for me, because it's gonna be way cheaper than I am.
well, and you know, RC,
Yeah, and then he told me, he goes, I go, well, do you wanna do it, like, I had the town of Starkville under my own. He got mad and I have it under him, and I make less, and then he goes, I don't want nothing to do with Aguilar. That was his answer. Kinda like, he's done that before,
and you have water license on the freshwater and wastewater?
yes,
Have you gave them a copy of it?
yes, they,
also, we had a meeting with Colorado Public Health and Environment, and we have until 10/4 to have an OR operator, or we will be in violation.
And that's important, I'm not trying to slow down the license.
No, I'm
I
just letting
wanna
you
make-
know,
I just want to make
because,
sure that everyone's clear on what his duties are. And it's either by contract that he signs with the town, or it's by an addition to the employee handbook.
Right, and that's what it was saying, is he can't do contract, it would have to be employee, so I think we'd have to make those changes or whatever, to the employee handbook to accommodate. Yeah, because he can't do contract with his current contract.
I agree with that, it's going to be an employee, then we need to make a change to the employee handbook, that this is work detail. And that's covered the town too.
The only thing you have to do with the employee handbook is do a job description. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
I
it
mean,
already covers salary employees.
yeah, I mean, really, handbooks don't typically have job descriptions in there. Handbooks are more of a broad scope, and then there's usually separate job descriptions for each position within the
So you're
town.
saying hiring without a written thing of.
No, I'm saying that we should hire him and write up a job description for him.
After the fact that we hire him. I mean, how long would it take to write it up and get it approved? I know we need that, I know
Right.
he's needed.
Right.
But we could jump ahead of some kind of description of what he's gonna be doing for us for this. amount
Well,
of
can
money.
we get that done tomorrow and just slide that in with the
Table it.
meeting with you Tuesday night?
sounds good to you?
Okay, can one of you work with
And I'm not trying
Sarah?
to slow you down.
No, I don't-
just
I
wanna make
understand
sure
that.
it's done correctly.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
I was kind of upset because it's like, he's told me before on some of the other stuff, and I'm like, Cokedale, he goes, oh, you had that before you, but you better not take nothing new, because that's my money.
Yeah, well,
But
and,
yet, he says you don't want nothing.
But he
to do
doesn't
with
want
it.
anything to do with it, so
No.
it's like,
I got nothing.
he's holding you to a non-compete, okay? Telling you can't
Yeah.
compete with him, but then he won't take the job either.
Well, he done that with the Best Western, he goes, I'm gonna deal with, the Patels. I go,
Just so
"I don't
you
blame
know, that non-competes are really coming on fire under federal law.
Well,
So you might want to educate yourself on that, you know, for further work.
yeah, 'cause I had a rat fill out of, I never did, and he caught it where, and he goes, you can't do a contract for 2 years.
Yeah, you just, yeah, you need to,
So I was gonna go on, 'cause
Yeah.
I know in a year, he sold out for 4.2 million to an outfit out of Florida. So
all
I
right,
don't
so
know.
I just, I think we need to get him on as employee, then, you know,
Did you say there was something in the handbook that there was a salary position?
The salary, section in employment.
So then it's just
a job description, right. So it's like, right now, for one of my clients, we're writing up standard operating procedures, employee handbooks, but on top of that, we're writing up specific job descriptions for that position. So that's what we can do, and that's a part of his employee package, he signs off on it.
the way you told, would you, the attorney say wouldn't interfere with you on your time?
No, because like I said, even if something goes wrong, I have to come up here more, like Cokedale last month, that's one more, and I was teasing them, I'm like, gee, I'm not making no money, I was coming up here like 4 times. I just, just teasing them. I'm happy, because I was sitting on the staff team.
Well, and whenever I went through this proposal that you made, it really didn't state what was expected of you, so that's why if we had a job description, then the council could vote.
Yeah, because I know, like I said last time, that I couldn't believe Luke was charging you guys for bringing bottles.
That was it.
I mean, that's something that, I laughed about that, I even talked to Wayne, I thought, man, that's a good thing. He goes, I never thought of that either, I mean, I couldn't believe that charging you to bring a bottle, when you could not.
Okay, so I make a motion to, get that job description written up. Get it voted on Tuesday night during the special meeting.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
All right,
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
so this will be number 5 tabled, number 5.
Yes.
This time we don't get shit done.
Yes.
This thing
Yes.
tabled.
Okay,
Okay, thanks.
I'll let you know on
They
Tuesday.
can't get their ducks in a
Wednesday,
row.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
New business, liquor license, Roughnecks.
Motion to remove the license for the light.
Is that place even open?
Yes.
Never been,
You have to go there for Sundays.
just one day a week?
You can eat and drink on Sunday.
After church?
Can I get roll call, please?
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Rojas?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Mr. Thorne?
Yes.
Motion passed. CDOT building.
Discussion about that.
Carol, I'll give you your question.
Do you recall that we had a discussion about that?
Yes, we approved the process.
Well, I wasn't here, so.
This gives us 2 options, so the last one did, so.
So what do we have here?
There's option 1 and option 1.
Did they submit this?
Yes.
Looks like you're waiting for us to choose before it goes to a realtor. we get a $10,000 credit and, we'll still have to come up with $25,750.
That's option 2? Did you-
Oh, it's option 1.
Wow.
So would we get a mortgage on it or what? Because I don't believe we have 25,000.
I think option 2 would be better of the 2.
I didn't hear you, Bob.
I think option 2 would be better of the 2.
So they didn't pay the $6,000 for their water tap down there?
So we got a credit towards it for $10,000, $10,250.
Why is the city thinking of buying that property
Yeah, why are we acquiring this
when
building?
we have that other property that we can't even take care of?
Yeah,
The
why-
swimming, where the swimming pool is at. We have an acre there.
Facts.
So you don't have a building.
Or with the cost there, we could build one. This is an old building now, what you're buying.
Yeah, who proposed buy this building to begin with?
So change for something for free.
Stephanie, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I guess back in, before 2019, Tyra was working with somebody from CDOT to get the building. When I spoke with the new lady handling it, me and her were under the impression that basically for the monthly water bill, we could take the building and just give them credit every month for the bill. That lady's gone and Tyra's gone, so between me and the other lady, what she said is they wanted to work with the town to get the property. I don't know if the town was trying to get it, but, I was going on because I have this outstanding $10,000 account, you know. And she basically said that the town wanted to get the building, so basically, back in when Tyra started this, it was priced at $32,000. And I guess at that time, they were willing just to take, their credits for the water tap and any water bills. Well, now the new lady said what, they still want to work with the town. So if they'd like to go ahead and take that over as a lease, we would pay a monthly rent, and then that monthly rent would go towards the purchase price. And we would also be able to take whatever water usage every month and credit their account, but that amount of money would also go towards the purchase price on this.
But we don't know why we were trying to get this building. It makes no sense to me to get this building.
Yeah, and she basically said that the appraisal now came in at 36,000 was the low end. So she said the low end is 32,000, 36,000 was the low end.
Yeah,
So,
we're kind of, I think, all in agreement here. We don't want the building, we
Yeah.
want them to pay their bill.
okay, so.
I think that would be
You
the,
could use the money more than the building.
Yeah,
because I'm not even sure what intentions for that building was.
right.
So, I mean, right now, I can't even see any use for it. And I think that we could use the money.
Here's an option 2 for us.
Rent it?
No, well, the building there is closer to the maintenance department. All that mess on the corner could be moved over there and possibly sell the one over there and have our property closer. It's better property, it's fenced better, and there is the building. And isn't there a lift in there for vehicles?
Oh, I don't know about lift. There's not a lift in there.
It's not. Hey, to me, yeah, what, if we put our equipment
Make
there.
that the yard
Yeah,
for,
but we have to put in slats or something to block the view of it. But it appears to be a better situated maintenance or storage area for the town than the one on the corner. But if we sold that to offset,
but we could maybe get it, get an appraisal on it and see which is gonna be the better deal then. I don't know, unless, you know, like you said, let's get rid of it.
after there's more land there that's not took care of. The fence, the gates tore up. I mean, it's not maintained at all. So to me, the area you're talking about picking up wouldn't be a bad deal for the town. But to have the 2 lots would, you could probably sell that other one for more than this one, so you may come out with a little bit of money ahead.
And I guess in 2019, the appraisal was only 32,000, well, she said now it's 36. And this is the low end of the appraisal. She said they went to the very lowest for the town. So I just need to know if I need to collect the bill for them or, and also, she said what she could do is they already had, I guess, she said they would have to go have another appraisal to see what this amount would be.
Yeah, so my next question, what do they
And
want
that,
monthly
she said that would
payments?
take roughly 3 months to get done, but she said based on the numbers from back in 2019, when, I don't know what happened, apparently all the paperwork had been done. Nobody ever just signed a contract, I guess. But she said she could research the numbers based on what it was with the $2,000 and kind of give us an estimate of what a monthly lease would look like. And then in 2 to 3 months, once they got the lease appraisal, then we'd get the actual numbers, but she said it would be probably fairly similar, so.
And the town should be setting an example for these yards. That's an eyesore. The maintenance charge that we have right now is disgusting. It's an insult to the town. If no one's taking care of it, fences falling apart, and we could get control of the way that it looks here, which we desperately need to do.
Agreed.
No argument here, because it's true. It will actually, the whole town is starting to look like that.
Well, we're the example, right? I
Why
mean,
you're-
if that's what we do. If we're the example, and this is the kind of thing that we put out for the residents here, it's hard to say anything to them whenever we're worse than what they're doing.
Well, and I know you're just kind of getting started. I mean, is there any extra time that you have at all at this point to maybe even just start doing a little bit of cleanup over there?
Honestly, with my hours, I don't know.
You don't know yet.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I know 20 hours, and I know you got a big chore list, and you
Yeah.
gotta read meters. I'm just like I said, going out there, even if you had an hour a week or something, to just go over there and start picking away at it.
I mean, I can. But again, it's only gonna be an hour, half hour.
Right.
Just depends on how much.
Right.
Well, even
Well-
cleaning up what you need over there is a fence to block the view of it. Buildings
Or,
falling
you know,
apart.
I'd be willing to donate some time. I mean, it's not like I could lift, 100 pounds or anything, but, maybe we do some donation time to pitch in and,
Well, even if you go with like the lease on here, if you could talk to them, make arrangements, let them know that maybe if we could afford the lease payments for 2 or 3 months or however long it would take to sell that,
right,
at least we could get numbers together to see how the town would come out. Because there's so much work to do on the lot that we have, it may work out cheaper for us to make a trade like that, sell that, we can possibly come out with more money.
Okay.
There's more land there.
So how would she say to get those lease numbers?
I can see if I can have something for, I don't think you want to do anything next week, so the next.
For Tuesday, you wanted to tell us, right?
But, she just basically said she'll get something as soon as possible, so I can get it, and if you want me to email it to you as soon as I get it.
So it's not press, I mean, this isn't like pressing and they want an answer like right this moment.
She just said to let her know which way you guys decided, and she would send you the estimated lease.
Okay, all right, yeah. so
Can we
get
talk
those
to a
numbers.
realtor and maybe get a price on investment on putting that on the market?
Should we does Carrie do commercial? Carrie does?
Fuck here.
Okay. I just saw her yesterday, or day before yesterday. So let's maybe, you wanna reach out to Carrie, Sarah? Or Stephanie?
Appraisal of the yards that we have now to.
I mean, just kinda see what, cause she can probably pull comps on it,
And see what we'd be looking
and
at.
see what we're kinda looking at if we would to sell it. I mean, then if we did go to sell it, an appraisal might actually need to be done, but if, know, I mean, she, again, let's support the people that live and work in our community, let's give her the business, give her the chance, you know,
Right.
to pull some comps, and then if we sell it, use her as the agent, you know, have some guys for the nose. So should we just make a motion to table this until we get the lease and talk to Carrie? Get the lease
Well, when we
license?
make a motion to talk to Carrie and work on.
All right, so make a motion to get the lease numbers and talk to Carrie.
Second.
So you make the motion, Angela?
And then for a second. Yeah.
Roll call?
Rochelle? Yes.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Granath?
No.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Mr. Thorne?
Yes.
Motion passed to table. Aflac.
That's another table, guys. It's number 6.
Yeah,
Who's counting?
unfortunately, you know, this needs to go the wayside as the other, insurance that the town is providing, for the employees. You know, this is $700 a month that we desperately need right now. Again, maybe after the new year, after like the augmentation fund is done and the funding, we're starting to get our funding, we can, you know, talk about some of these things or raises in lieu of these benefits. But unfortunately, for the moment, I think we're gonna have to, you know, cancel these. We just can't afford it right now.
Well, we currently have one employee on it, correct?
$100
I mean,
in
I think
policies.
it's, sorry, not to overspeak, but I mean, if Sarah can't have health insurance, then I don't want to keep the Aflac. And I apologize, I didn't bring that up, we have it.
Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Mr. Thorne?
Sarah, what's your thought on the thing? You're the ones insured that we're.
Yeah, it's Stephanie's on, yeah, Stephanie's on the Aflac. And Aflac doesn't really provide, like health insurance per se. What they
It's a
provide is,
supplemental.
it's like disability insurance, they offer cancer policy insurance. Like if you get cancer and you've had this policy for so long, as soon as you get that diagnosis, you get a payout of however much to help you with your co-pays and deductibles and things like that.
Stephanie, you're the one that's covered.
Yes, there
That
were
was,
two
we
of us.
offered her a job with insurance. How do you feel about it?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How do you feel about this vote?
I mean, I think if Sarah doesn't get the regular health insurance, it's not fair for me to keep the Aflac. And the only reason I had the Aflac was because I wasn't getting the town's insurance, medical insurance. So I was told I could get the Aflac because I wasn't using medical. And that was, I don't know, we've had it forever. I even forgot I had it until, like I said, I saw it come out of the account and check, and there were just, 2 of us at the time, and then I think one of the recent employees just had gotten on that, so,
Then you're okay with it being canceled?
yeah, I'm fine.
Approval of the bill.
Okay, so Monica and I went through this time and, you know, we kind of did the same thing. We tried to pay a little bit more, but still leave that $5,000 cushion. However, with that water hauling coming up and a couple other little things, CCOM is ready to disconnect if they don't. In the agreement, reducing their,
Down to 447.61, and that would cover at least 1 month.
right, so we pay them 1 month instead of paying them in full, and then that would cover the difference of these last minute bills that we needed to add on, and then still keep a $5,000 cushion in the account. Robert Cap is wanting us to make some kind of ridiculous, payment to him, and I told Angela, we can't. Well, they're just wanting us to enter into this payment agreement, and I'm like, you've already got the contract, we've already agreed to pay you. And they're like, well, we can't go into Q4 with this outstanding balance. And I said, well, we can't go into Q4 and pay you this balance. So, if we can give you, I've told you and I've emailed you, I'm not signing anything else, that every 2 weeks, we're gonna get you a little something, probably anywhere from $500 to $1,500. That's what we can do. If you need to file and sue us, do it, because there's nothing else that we can do at this point. We didn't get anything, no audits
They don't mind
from
being
them.
sued.
You know, Jim Ray has given us more, and we're paying him less. But I mean, when you spend that kind of money and nothing to show for it. Yeah, nothing to show for it, and we still, I mean, that's, just remember, that's on top of the $90,000 that we've already paid them. And so, I mean, that more than anything in this whole situation makes me really angry. You know, that this contract was entered into. It never should have happened, and if the person that did it should have been on top of it and gotten them everything they needed within, like, no longer than a month and a half. But here we are, you know, 9 months later. You know, but again, we stopped that in June, end of June, beginning of July, so anyway. I think
so,
we're just gonna do what we can, like, leave it at that. Yep.
I don't have a copy of the bills that you're talking about. Was there a separate form on?
There, do you want my copy? I know what we paid. Or what we're going to pay. To pay. He has it. Oh, you do? He's the last one that Robert Cass that we were just talking about.
This Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's another health
We
insurance, isn't it?
we have to pay that, that's in arrears, okay? We didn't agree to cancel the insurance till, what was it, 2 meetings ago? Right. And that's an arrears payment from July. July. June or July, and so we have to pay that as, Sarah has outstanding claims, and we didn't agree to cancel it till last month. So we have to cover it, for June. But that'll be the last payment to Anthem.
And where are all these forms, Tom and Aguilar, what that stuff for?
Those are, they have this weird system going for refunds to, deposits. Deposits left over or against the balance of their bills when they leave town or moved out of town. They explained it to me how you do this, how you credit it. It's like,
So basically, they have their deposit when they move or whatever. I normally just take the final bill out of their deposit and we write the check to the town and apply it to their account. And then there's another check, that goes to the customer. And that's how.
yeah, it's a really backwards way, and we've talked about this too going forward. We need to actually set up like a trust account. Or, you know, the customer's deposits need to go into that separate trust account, And when they make a deposit, it goes in there, and when they leave and shut off, and they get refunded out of there. But right now, that's how old things to do, and this backwards way that they're. So it's basically to pay, those are to pay these checks to then apply to their final bill, to zero it out and close it out, is the way I understand it.
So aren't we required to hold deposits in a separate account?
Yes,
They
yes,
weren't doing it.
they weren't doing it,
I found that out.
you know, longer.
We owe and who?
Well, then that's what we ask every time when we come in, the financial committee, when we come in, it's like, okay, what's your balance? So right now, where's those little stickies you gave me? Okay, so in the bank, right now, there's $40,567.10.
Okay, so couldn't we put something on here that shows the deposits we made and like from where it's from, a water fund, gas fund, so that the council knows where the money's coming from? 'Cause
I
that
think,
matters. We have to
I think we
know.
can in the future when we start building out these books, but I don't think the current system can do
So,
that, can it?
Going forward on the new budget that, Jola or Tara Marshall and I will start working on, that we're gonna have a revenue manual, which is gonna be good for, the council, because money that comes in is gonna be put on there, and money that goes out from that fund is gonna be on there, so the town is going to be able to keep track of all monies.
Where did the 40,000 come from?
That's a combination of utility billing, and then we got
We got
a little bit of money
from the state,
from DOLA.
or severance tax,
What did we get from DOLA?
Or was that from DOLA?
$10,000, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I believe it was. Then we got the money, we did receive from San Isabel some money, and that what had already been paid, so that actually went to the town because they had already paid that bill.
Okay, but 40,000 seems, and we paid bills and we had 40,000 left.
No,
No, this is
No,
40,
we wish.
$40,000, and now we're gonna pay out
31,
36.
36.
Because there's still some previous bills that haven't cleared yet. So with the previous bills that were paid, there's another 4,000 there. So there's 40,567, and the total bills going out, including the outstanding past bills that haven't cleared yet, is $36,241, which will leave us that $5,000 cushion. And hopefully some more of our citizens will pay their bills.
I would.
And we're talking about paying the bills, and, you know, I know this has to be done, and this shows what we owe, but what you're saying about us approving the bills, I don't see anything here that tells us what bills we're being asked to approve.
These, they're all here. This is everything, and we still have another stack of bills to go through. So this is what Monica and I
This is
said.
what we owe, this is what we owe.
Not everything, this is what we decided most important, most pressing to
Okay, these 2
pay.
pages are
Yeah.
what we're gonna vote to
Yes,
approve tonight.
yes.
Angela and Monica were in here, and they went through the bills, and they gave them invoices, everything that pertained to the bills, and that's how they broke it down, what they were paying.
Okay.
So Sursa was super important, obviously, we owed them money. We had to get that anthem paid, so Sarah's claims were paid. Everything on here, or, you know, some of the other things on here are, you know, people that have been beating down the doors and calling and emailing to get paid. There's other ones that, you know, you'll see some $50, $100 payments, you know, on some of those we just like, okay, you know, we owe you $4,000, we can't pay you $4,000, you're getting $500. This is what we can afford to pay you right now. So the whole idea was just to spread it around as much as we can, so as many people as possible
So
gets a
some of
little
these have been
something.
paid already.
No,
Nothing on there
no,
has been
we're
paid.
waiting for everybody.
I was listening to her
Yeah.
words and she said this was paid, so I was wondering.
Well,
No,
we use the term, we did that last time too, and so we stand corrected. We did not pay the bills last time. I said that we did, we didn't. All we did was,
gather the
we sorted,
information.
we went through invoices, someone decided how much to pay everybody.
And the only reason I'm asking these questions, it's been messed up for so long that I'm
That
saying
is
these in
why.
public now so it could be
Yeah,
fixed.
not one of these bills have gone out yet. We're waiting for all you and all of us to approve them.
And that was a question.
And the last time, none of those bills went out until the board approved it, and then Gerald and I signed the checks, in which I didn't even finish signing my checks that night after the meeting. I came back the next morning and finished my checks, so the girls could go home. But they weren't paid until they were approved.
Okay.
So yeah, when I say that we go through and choose who's to be paid, it's basically, we just gathered the information, looked at it, spread the money around and decided, okay, these are who we are going to pay with the money that we have, what's most pressing.
All right.
No, we have to stick to the.
Bills with the amended amount of other.
The two that were just added on?
Yeah, the Oasis water for. I think Frank, you just seconded it.
Roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Ms. Adams,
Yes.
Mr. Rojas,
Yes.
Ms. Gallner,
Yes.
Mr. Romero,
Yes.
Mr. Flynn.
Yes.
Motion passed. Robert Avila?
So have you guys gone over all the paperwork and seen the medical papers that were turned in?
We have.
You discussed on the we're able to look over the paper that Josh read for me about at the one meeting about the meter, about returning it, getting from back on, giving me a credit. Have you guys looked over that paperwork and discussed it? It's been long.
Everybody has, yeah, we didn't get a copy of that.
He handed it to everybody the last
Yep.
meeting.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Before Josh read it, I handed one to everybody
I'm sorry, 2 meetings ago.
Look, an ordinance in 2019, but I don't remember when the paper was handed.
His request for, writing off his balance. And what else on there?
No, John.
We're only allowed to discuss this thing as a group. Essentially, we have not discussed it, that I know of.
No.
Some of the other paperwork, I think I just turned in I turned in paper, a copy of the tag that they gave me right before they pulled the meter, and I gave them a copy of a red tag from a few months before that had a 7-day notice on it. So the red tag that I got was after 3 o'clock on March the 5th, and at 10 a.m. on March March the 7th, they came to pull the meter.
They are,
So he didn't even give me the 3 days to come in and make payment.
I've seen in this thing, an ordinance that I don't know if you know about, but it says, they've got the right to pull a meter without notice. So I thought we were going to talk to an attorney first on this because.
And that's what I wanted to have the attorney hired before this all came
Right.
to the board.
Table it.
And we're coming close to winter, and, I mean, we're discussing, this is marked confidential, and we're discussing it in the open, and wasn't he supposed to give 15-day notice before we done this? Or is,
He was insisting that he wanted on the special meeting last week,
well,
2
only
weeks ago.
because he was told he would be on the next agenda.
Right. That's what the mayor said.
But then they said I would be on the next agenda, so I assumed it was gonna be a special meeting. I didn't think
No,
it would
the
be at
regular meeting.
Because she didn't say the next regular meeting.
Okay, well,
So that was cleared up, at that meeting, but that's why I didn't come to the last meeting.
Yeah, and that, again, that's why I wanted the attorney, because like I said, I'm hearing, two sides. And, hearing from other board members, that they feel that there was issues with what happened to you, where, some things might have happened that shouldn't have, but I don't know the legalities of this. And then I see, this big packet from the town and, some other official letters saying that everything went by the book. And that's why I wanted to present all of this in front of the attorney to get, some legal determination on this, because I just don't feel like that I am, knowledgeable enough.
and a lot of this skips around from date to date, but it goes back to 2020. When were you actually put on the account?
At that address, I'm pretty sure it was after 2020, maybe September or October of 2022. Because they told me before they could turn the water and gas on at that house, I would have to get permission from the owner.
Right, and it's,
Who was my
so
aunt.
if
that
it
lived
wasn't
in
on the
Florida.
thing until 2022, all this stuff's from 2020 that says that it was delinquent, turned off, delinquent, bill paid, delinquent, turned off. That wasn't him.
Those were accounts under,
M27 and 20, utility and deposit agreement was
January of 2023? Okay, and so what are you looking at? Is that in our packet, that you're saying it was him?
right on the front page.
Right, but it just, I could sit there and say, okay, well, Burton signed this. Where's the actual agreement? The documentation for 1021 and 102720 that Robert signed the utility and deposit agreement.
So this is the one for 102720.
Who's that? Okay, so there's a dispute here, so I guess that's where I'm getting really confused. I want to get this settled, but you're telling us you didn't put this in your name until beginning of 2023, but I'm looking at this document you signed right here from 2020.
right, and the only way I was able to get the deed in my name was to pay the tax lien for, normally it's 3 years in a row, but because the first payment that I made in September didn't get put in the books until December, they made me pay on an extra year, and then the following year, they told me that I still had to pay a 5th year. So I had to actually pay 5 years of the tax lien, and before I paid the 5 years of tax lien, there was 2 liens already on the property, and I had to go in and pay those in my cousin's name, so the 3rd lien wouldn't get paid and get sold for the tax lien. And they, since I'm a direct relative that lives right next door, they were able to send me tax liens and mail, put them in the paper first, and I just get paid. And one of the tax liens that I paid was a $576 some dollar tax lien that the town had on it for the, sorry, the $20 maintenance fee or the.
Okay,
last
so
time
I was
they
gonna
had
ask you
it
what the liens had to do with the utility bills, and so you're saying that the town had liens on there from past utility bills and past residents or your family members or whatever. So you're saying that you paid those on behalf of your family, and then that's why you signed this agreement on, 10/21/20, 10/27/20?
So they didn't turn the gas on.
I'm sorry.
I see the agreement, it's not in this one.
I don't think the gas was turned on until September or October of 2010.
I think I lost it. Where was it?
So this is all paperwork for where water is, this is the deposit agreement.
Okay, so there's the deposit agreement on
Man, I don't think I'm this deep on everybody.
10/27/20.
And the house
Well,
is,
this will be
the tax
confidential
lien, the other
information.
property. We have a tax lien under his name, I mean,
Yeah, technically, this all should be handled in executive session because this is private
and
information.
this was paid off in.
So is my drug test.
Indeed, we worked with him, let him pay it. But he told us he was gonna go pay it, so we turned on his. So this was in 22 for his other house, and he came in right after and did the deposit agreement on the second house. And then we did receive later, in October, after we took his word and turned the water, that we could finally get the tax fee. So, right now, both of these accounts have outstanding. And this is just, I took a look at everything.
Merry Christmas, Patty.
So we're talking about a different account.
Two different accounts.
And the liens we talked about, we have this one down that.
But what that's showing me though is that he's been behind before and every time he's paid it all. It's taking a while, there's tax lien put on it, but eventually he's paid it.
And where was the court order?
It shows a record from 2020 until now of constantly being late. But the town's reaction all this time was to make an agreement with him, which he's obviously, and in this paperwork I've been given, he's paid off each time. So to me, in my mind, what I'm trying to, was, the ordinance does say that we could turn it off and take the meter at any time. I agree to that, but he was given a document saying he had 3 days to pay. But they came in and took it right away. So you give him a document giving him 3 days, then you take the meter. It just,
Due process.
somewhere it doesn't make sense to me. And I got a video that you really need to listen to, where the lieutenant from the deputies in Trinidad instructed Tyra and Joe Forrest that they should have a court order to enter that property. You want me to play it? It's from the policeman himself.
Yeah, this is right by the camp.
Bob, you're wrong.
Bullshit.
If
Try it.
town owns.
Enter my property, Bob, see what happens.
And they have the legal right to go under and look at the meters.
Bullshit.
Excuse me, you don't have
Not in a fenced
the floor.
Yes, you do. The only time you need permission is when you go in somebody's house,
Okay.
Bullshit.
not property.
I don't think you should give legal information, Bob. You're not a lawyer.
The sheriff deputies won't even come on my
Fuck you.
property without, paperwork signed by a judge, to even walk on the property and talk to me.
They're not town employees.
They don't have to be. They're sheriff
Town
deputies.
employees can go on your property without your permission.
No, those are state laws that they have to be.
I know that there's even, like I own a piece of property in Alamosa, and my property butts right up next to protected wetlands, and there's actually an easement road, that goes on it, that the state or BLM or, park rangers or whatever are allowed to have access to that. So is it kind of the same when it comes to utilities then?
Your ordinance says your utilities are not supposed to be on our property,
Sir,
bottom
we're
line.
not giving you the floor.
Nobody asked you.
So, the
We will not have that again, thank you.
We'll see.
paperwork I read from the state, I didn't bring a copy with me, but the paperwork I read said that the only way that the county employees are allowed on the property are to, maintain something that's broken, or, shut the gas and water off, by the permission of the owner. Like if I was moving, or I had them turned off, because I was gonna be there for 3 or 4 months,
See,
that would be
and
different.
this is where I think we need the attorney, I mean, because I'm hearing valid
Right.
points, like, from all sides, and I don't, you know, I
And
don't.
also, one of the meetings.
If they weren't
we were
real painted,
having,
wouldn't be on the property. The ordinance
They
says
stated that
the
those
property.
water meters were supposed to be put outside of the
Fact.
property.
Your own
more than
ordinance,
6 years ago.
dumbass.
And they only put 2 or 3, and then they didn't finish it. all.
We got your mayor's
And
admitting
that's
to it.
highlighted in one of the ordinances
Yeah,
we have here.
Okay,
because I
they were
went-
supposed to.
get
be
your shit
put
off
on
my
the
property.
Side of the
How about that, bitch?
Yes, so they wouldn't
And
have
it's
to go on
highlighted.
the-
But the thing for me comes down to, first, we are not lawyers, but there's a 2-minute and 7-section piece of a video where the lieutenant from the sheriff's office instructed them, Tyra, Joe Forrest, that they needed a warrant to go on that property. They didn't give him the full.
Due
time.
process. Yes, sir, would have been Monday.
He had cash that he was on. But the documents that you did give us, I got them today. I only had 3 have on what you can, what you cannot do. I did that whenever I signed my bill, and this one.
Been given it,
Yeah.
or seen it.
Or had access to read it.
So you want to hold him to rule? I know he should have paid his bills. Everyone should pay the bills. But that's not the main issue here. The issue is the way that he was done, and because of his health and the doctor sending in a statement, to me, my mind says that we have a legal responsibility to do it properly. That's why we were supposed to do this with an attorney.
If we, once we interview
Table
the
it.
attorney, if he agrees to meet with us on Tuesday, and if the board decides to hire him, and you agree to just let him take over this and he can read.
That would be a good idea, because there's also, I think it was the federal paperwork that I seen,
Mm-hmm.
that when somebody that has the medical conditions and gets the medical paperwork into the utility company, they have 9 to 12 hours
To
to
return
turn
it.
it back on and turn the gas back on.
Federal.
I thought they were talking about electricity, though, not anything else.
Heat.
It's the utilities. In fact, it's the heat.
Electricity provided.
It doesn't matter if
Bob
it's
Lloyd.
electricity, it's gas, it's propane, the utility company. If the doctor states
Bob's
that by not having that heat, it's gonna affect my health, and it's affecting my health right now. I still have to take, inhaler, because 2 weeks after they pulled the meter, I got bronchitis and I ended up in the hospital. They let me the same day, but, my lungs are not the same.
And one of these things, and I don't know why this happens, because one of the things that we're supposed to review here is 4/18/23, and I put a note here, is why does it matter who paid the bill? But you got that Mike Sexton came in the office to pay Robert's bill. Why would you even do that? Why wouldn't you just say the bill's paid? Why does it matter how his bill gets paid?
Well, we're not supposed to give out that information.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't, so why is it
Put the
in for
name, I
discussion?
just put all the
Mhm.
accurate, truthful information, and I do want to make it clear.
She
did
did
not
put
just
confidential on this paperwork.
I see that, but we're discussing.
In a public meeting.
Right?
Durr.
So
Executive
Robert,
session
would you
status.
agree to let the attorney handle this?
I'll just read that the training handle most of it, but, in the meantime, did you guys, talk about, agreeing to any of the terms that I brought
Well,
in the
it's like
paperwork?
Bert said, we can't all talk, you know, without breaking laws, you know, not in a public forum. So this is kind of the time right now to talk about this.
Right, so you can talk about it right now.
Now, exactly.
Well, were you given
Exactly.
the option to do this in executive session? Because I wouldn't want this information discussed.
No.
And if we're going to talk about it and we were given the packet, it does say confidential information.
Mhm.
But to me on this, yeah, and I get this all the time, if it's public information, I got a right to speak about it. But you give me something that says confidential, and then we discuss it in an open meeting that he didn't have the option to go to executive session.
Oops.
So to me, that confidential means nothing.
Nada.
Everything here is public information right now.
Yeah.
No matter what you stamp it.
What about your bill, Orlando? What does it look like? Is that public information?
None of your business.
Exactly. That's the
Exactly.
fucking point, Bob.
Right, that's why somebody's name
Again,
shouldn't have been.
If he
Again.
has an outburst again,
Fuck
would
you.
you remove him? He's been asked several times.
Yeah.
He keeps interrupting the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pointing
Robert,
out your wrongs.
do you want to go that route?
Possibly, one thing I wanted to ask while I'm up here is, I got a new red tag this month. While Dave was working, and it's my understanding that there was up to 30 red tags. How many of those people got their gas or water turned off?
Robert, I'm not at liberty to discuss somebody else's bill.
I'm not asking
And
for
I
the
I'll be honest
specifics.
with you, I
I'm
don't,
Can't make
asking
this
if
shit
they
up.
got turned off.
You hear
but
this
I'm
stuff?
saying I don't know.
You cannot make this shit up.
They do not tell me.
Okay, so let's clarify this, because, you know, Vern brought up a good point. This is marked confidential. You were not given the opportunity for an executive session, so we could discuss this in private. So, do you want,
Well, the thing that, I'm
move-
sorry to interrupt, but the thing that I'm bringing up
right?
is if 30 people got a red tag and nobody got turned off, how did I get turned off?
No, I understand that, that's all
Not
about
discrimination.
What I'm saying is, do you want to continue this here
Targeted
now?
harassment.
Or you want to go and reschedule it to executive session?
They ask him after they put all his info out.
Do it now, because we're already up here,
Okay.
we're already discussing it, and
But there's
some of the information has already been given.
I'm sorry, what?
Questions about legalities, what we decided last time, however
Right,
we
I
discussed
mean,
this.
we know a good portion of this needs to go to the attorney. And unfortunately, like you said, some of the questions that you're asking in regards to other people's accounts, I was looking at our open report, you know, looking at some of these balances, and it doesn't even show me the names of who some of these people are. What's
Friends
the
and family
determining
plan.
factor you guys
You know?
are
But
shut
then there's other things here that he was
Friends and family
advised by a lieutenant of the sheriff's office that they could not come on his property. It's a 2-minute video that you really need to watch. They told him,
Yeah,
they
if you
told
talk to us,
Joe
we'd send you a
Forrest,
copy.
they told Tyra, and it's on video, body cam from the sheriff.
Well, can you like message it to me?
Yeah, I'll do
You know,
that.
send it to me via,
But now this is.
It's on your guys' page.
If we're going to do this,
It's
everyone
on the
needs to
city
know
page.
the whole information. I believe strongly that yes, he should have paid his bill. But,
I never said I shouldn't pay the bill, I never said that I owed.
but the thing is the way that the process was carried out was against his best interest because it said 3 days. They done it in 2, he had another day to pay, and he made arrangements with Mike to pay the bill for him. So, and then the next attempt he made, the office, the building was closed. I mean, through that period of time, it was hard to get in here for the building to be closed. So all of this needs to be added into it. Yes, he didn't pay the bill.
it was closed, what, due to COVID?
No, it's closed
No.
because of.
Chop.
they were-
Chop.
Protest.
You were peaceful.
Well, it's just one of the times.
Oh, so this is last year
They
that
locked
you're
the doors
talking about and not back in.
during business hours.
2024.
Oh, 2024, this year,
Yeah.
okay.
Kept the public out.
There's a lot of side things to this, and none of that's in this for us to make a decision.
Okay.
I want to make it clear we keep hearing he only got 2 days. If you guys read this, I would suggest postponing it till you can read the packet. But he's been getting a delinquent notice in the mail and a red tag every month since July 18th of 23.
Yes,
The
but
meter
if you
was
go
turned
back
off-
through your
The meter was
documents.
turned off on March, or taken away on March 7th of 24. So over here, he was getting a delinquent notice in the mail that everybody gets if you're late, and the red tag was being put on his
They're
gate
not
every
legal
month
either.
since
Uh-uh.
January 18th of 23.
Red tags ain't legal.
And I did go all the way back to 2020 to show that.
Damn, when
I asked for a payment agreement. I mean, you can pull half the town that hates me, come in here and need a payment agreement, I give it to him because I'm legally obligated.
He tried making one at a meeting.
But 11823 is, he's been getting red tags every month and delinquent notices at his door. That is what,
Okay, point of order.
At
First,
his
that she
house.
wasn't asked a question. I was trying to make a point whenever she said this. And you shut everyone else up. Why didn't you do it to her?
Because she's been doing all of this on Robert.
But I
She
didn't
don't
ask
know
her a
nothing.
question, and I was trying to make a point. So it's okay for her to interrupt me, but no one can
Right.
interrupt
Sorry.
you.
Go
Is that,
ahead.
is that?
For to her, not
Go
you.
ahead.
No, I just want to know what the
Yeah,
rules
sorry
are.
to her, not to Vern.
What's good for me and
I
what's
thought
good
you
for
were
you.
done.
Does he get
I
thinking?
apologize. Sorry,
Don't think
Stephanie,
too
to let
hard.
you talk out of line.
From 2020, all the way up to here, through her own documentation here, this property has been in arrears, deals have been made 100 different times since then, but they've always been paid. And there's also an ordinance in here that before that meter was pulled, and it's even highlighted, that this should have been a council decision before it was done. And that didn't happen either.
No,
There's
no due
there's two
process.
sides of this story, and this is just part
They
of
got a dumb
one
bitch
side.
fouling up there.
Because now, I just seen paperwork.
We're also broken,
back in
but we're gonna
2020
ignore that.
Ignore
on
it.
this.
Ignore
and
it
he
when we
explained
break the
it.
laws.
But that wasn't in here, nor was an explanation, so I'm still saying the same thing. This needs to stop right now and let the attorney hear it. We don't have the right to put
Do
his
you agree
business
to
out
let the
there.
attorney
I'm gonna
read
talk about
this,
just a couple of things first.
this
No,
case? Wait, let him look at it. If they hire the attorney, let him look at this case, let him, and then the board would agree that whatever the
Benefit
attorney's
does Robert
decision
get
is
by that?
will be final. Thank you.
What benefit does he get?
No, I'm just saying, you know, so that he's gonna make the decision because he has, you know.
Well, he needs to be able to present in front of the attorney too.
I understand that, but
Right.
the attorney needs to look at all this first,
Right.
and then he can.
So another 2 months,
But that
3
can be
months.
done in front of all of us too.
Also,
You know,
the day
Zoom or
that they pulled
whatever.
the meter, I came into the office and asked for a payment plan, and Sarah told me that was not gonna get a payment plan, that I had to pay it in full. They did not give me the option for.
It's on video.
I have that recorded on my phone.
Okay, so do you agree, let the attorney look at this, Robert?
To what benefit?
And just present everything that you, on your side too. So you'll get to present everything, all your documentation and everything to him as well.
Well, that sounds good, but.
Why not just
It's
sue?
been almost 7
Yeah,
months.
why not just
since the
fucking
meter,
sue?
and you
Just
guys
sue.
haven't even
Let's do
looked
it.
at the actual
He's
laws that
trying to keep
apply
him
to
a
this.
fucking
I looked them up a long time ago and I wasn't able to get a copy.
I know, he should.
Or I
That's
would
what I
have
mean,
presented
instead
those
of
with
trying
all
to
the
agree
paperwork
with
that I gave you last month.
Yeah.
Those are federal laws that are in the
Right.
books.
No, and that's why, I pressed once, Vern, talked to me about some of this. This is, one of the reasons I pushed for you. But I wanted you to present, because we got your demand letter of the things that you wanted from us. We got your doctor's paperwork, but what I wanted from you was your timeline where you felt the infractions happened. And I don't see that you brought that with you today.
But he didn't have 15 days notice to put this together either, so is he supposed to carry it?
Okay.
And I didn't know it was even on the agenda until yesterday.
Okay, well, I talked to Vern about that last week, so I didn't know that there was a 15-day requirement, so
We
that's.
just went through it with Tyler, didn't we?
Right.
15 days before you could pull someone in and question them like this?
Right.
And then he's supposed to have the option to do this in private, which he said he doesn't matter, but he wasn't given the option. These are the things I'm talking about being equal and fair. Everyone.
Oh, sure, I
because
mean, I agree. It should be, again, I question when I see these outstanding bills that people owe. One person has a $137 balance and they're scheduled for shut off, and another person has $2,000 and they're scheduled for shut off.
I mean, I went through two.
Yeah, so.
And he owed at the time, what, $800?
Right.
But you got someone here at $3,200, and this is a point I tried making in 2 or 3 meetings, was those payment agreements use of the electric, they pay a partial bill on what they owed and the part on what was behind. They're going behind each month. They're getting further in debt to us with the payment agreement that wasn't offered. He wasn't able to get it, and if you think of the time period and what was going on, and he's got a good point of being harassed by the mayor and the town clerk because of everything else, and he was treated differently, is what
Okay.
my understanding is.
Who actually pulls and installs meters?
At the time, you know what, it showed up as house, there was like
What,
street
Sarah?
police, there was Tyra, there was Joe Porras, there was MGM. It was like 20 people showed up at his house to pull the meter. And here, recorded, the one I'm talking about, is a lieutenant from the sheriff's office telling him that they have to have a warrant. So his actions, if the police are telling him he has to have a warrant, why would we force our way in there? I mean, this is.
I'm not saying that the town didn't do
I'm
something
just trying to
wrong.
argue
I'm
for
just
him so
trying
that
to
he
get
can-
all of the facts, and I can't seem to get that, and to figure out what laws we're supposed to, I mean, because I know that there's federal laws for people that are at risk, but I also know that there's town ordinances, so it's just
That's
this
Bobby's
big
the lawyer.
circular mess.
One of the federal laws also states that if the temperature drops 32 or below, the utility company is not supposed to even turn the gas or electric off.
And I
And
believe
that
that
night,
period
it
happened
dropped
3
to
times.
31, it dropped to 32 the next night, it dropped to 30 the third night.
So we need to find out how we're legally, I mean, we could get in a lot of trouble over this one.
That's why I was
As soon as he
trying
pulls
to get
that
this
off the table,
resolved
they're fucked.
before my
That's
lawyer
what I
picks the case
understand.
up and starts filing paperwork.
Is it the no,
You know,
I mean, can we, is there anything that we can do with even just, you know, a small payment from you so we can get his thing back installed and get his meter back? Is there anything we can do
Again,
right at this moment?
We really need to let the attorney go over it because
one of the things about this case is because they got the medical paperwork and refused to put the meter back, and it is still affecting my health, I can qualify for punitive damages in the civil suit, and there is no cap on it. My attorney could actually ask for $20 million, and you guys have no way of defending the way the meter was pulled. And also, when that Jesse Pacheco that was working here, he only worked that day and then the next day he quit. That day that he went in and pulled the meter, he did not take the lock off, so he wasn't able to close the lock, the turn-off switch on the meter, and he was heard saying on one of the body camera that he wasn't able to do that. And then they weren't able to go back in because my neighbor got there and he told them, you guys don't have permission to go in there. Instead of telling the fire department that there was gonna be a leak there, because he cut it off all the way, they
well, what I'm reading in this.
Violate everyone's rights. Do it. This is good, right?
What I'm reading in this, it started out with like $800 and it's up over $2,000 now and the meter's been gone.
Okay, well, but it doesn't, doing it for one, doing for everybody doesn't really apply here, because this is a very unique situation.
It is, yes.
What has happened with Robert has not happened with other people in town. This is a pretty standalone thing.
Okay, we're gonna have to move on, so
No one sitting here knows all the details to it because everyone's only heard part of it.
Robert,
And he
be
does have
prepared with
legitimate.
all your information.
Just interrupt.
everything That you have,
She's good at that.
documentation and stuff. and you
But
can
don't
present
you
it to the
interrupt
attorney.
her. Fucking dumb bitch.
Sound good?
You know?
Would you agree to an executive session so we could all sit here and understand this? This really shouldn't be done here.
I agree too. I think we need to
There
get the
is
attorney.
there is a lot of stuff in the paperwork that should not be shared.
Yeah, no, I mean,
But now,
obviously there's
and that's
personal.
good, but now, This is marked confidential, and I haven't said a thing to the public about it, but now we discussed it here. This is public information.
It's put out at a public meeting.
I did bring up, when we were talking about putting this on the
Dennis.
agenda, going into executive session on this, and so that wasn't done.
No.
But we didn't, we done it here. And so that makes this public information. And I keep getting accused of talking about town business, and I'd like to clarify that. If it's public information, I got every right to talk about it, then I'll continue to talk about it. I have not said anything about executive sessions or plans of the town, and it wasn't me who went to the newspaper. I think it was the water attorney, Ken Torres, that made a whole report to the newspaper about our executive sessions. I ain't heard a word said about what we're gonna do about that.
Ignore it.
So can we move on?
Yeah.
You agree? Okay, so can I get a motion to table this?
Situation. Yeah, or, yeah, executive.
Thank you, Robert.
Yes. I have a problem with motion for Robert Aguilar's situation. It's more like a town Aguilar situation.
Ms. Adams?
Okay, I'll amend the motion. Town of Ag. Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Mr. Romero? Yes. Mr. Thorne?
Yes.
It's wet. Got it.
They check the lines, and it's used to keep the lines from corroding. So they come in and they test all the lines, and to enclose the old line.
Right. That's what these guys do, but for like on a bigger scale. And so how often does this have to be done?
Once every year, not to exceed 15 months.
Thanks, Eric.
You're welcome.
And this house is done to,
Exactly.
take care of our 2023
Don't interrupt there.
gap audit. This has to be done to make us pass the gap. So we have to.
So we will be current.
And so what's, I'm trying to see these documents. So what's the total survey?
Fees, the last 2 pages, there's fees that he said he wasn't, he gave us a quote of $4,520. That gives him trying to keep it under that if at all possible, or as close to that.
I mean,
You go to page 8.
right? I mean, I'm seeing that, and it's great, and yet one more thing we need to be in compliance with, but where's the money?
Right. Why buy it?
We have to get somebody OQ'd by, no,
Oh, that one?
that's not by the fourth.
Just comply.
I think we have till the
You guys like that shit? They don't like to comply.
It would be good if you would read this information. There's several billion dollars set aside on these problems, and it appears like we qualify for
So how would, I mean, but then we need a grant writer, right?
it.
To
Anyone
a
can write a
budget.
grant.
I'm sorry?
Anyone can write a grant. You don't have to be specially a grant writer.
We
But
need a budget.
A budget for a grant?
That is why they've had some issues, because we don't have a budget, an actual budget. So,
But you're gonna be working on that with the gal from Dola, right, to get those budgets done.
And we get done 2019, what I heard.
That's
That's the audit, the budgets are different from the audit, so, yeah.
that's where we have such a problem because we don't have a budget 23 and 24, correct?
And here we are almost at the end of
And then we
2024,
start
2025.
2025 in next month.
I have some good information to share with you whenever we're ready.
Okay. Is it in regards to the different grants and stuff, or?
For the gas,
You know, 500, 500,
Health, I
500?
think, understand our financial, they were at one of them.
Payment plan that the board agrees on.
Can I get a motion to
Sent to
adjourn?
correspondent.
Meeting adjourned.
She's in charge. She likes it on certain people, but not others. It's called discrimination. That's definitely
Good night, everybody.
fuck off, Linda. Dumb bitch. You're gonna learn about free speech, I guarantee you. Here's a new lawyer. He knows how to legalize. We pick and choose our ordinances. That's it. Partner in crime. I think that's the longest crick on the board, or in the back there. You guys gotta love these signs, right? I'm so professional. For real, for real. What do you think about that? There's some professional signs. They spare no expenses. No expenses. Stopping from the kindergartners. And she don't want her name up there. No one can know who she is because she's an embarrassment. So, we got you people here, guys. He's gonna upload. He'll get you guys uploaded. Hopefully without all the choppiness that my fucking show's having. Because you know, the server sucks ass. Happy fucker Linda Day! Woo! Fuck you, Madam Mayor! We're gonna have a protest in your favor. This is our mayor, guys, right here. We got a town employee, we got 2 council members and a mayor here. Another conversation. Comply, bitch! Just comply. We can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. We'll protest in front of your house next. Haha, bitch. We'll protest in front of her house, guys. And go set up. She obviously thinks that she has the power over the people, and the people have no power over their government. So, obviously, she's going to get some education, guys. Hopefully people here will let her know our voices actually mean something. You know, they're the ones not in compliance, but demanding compliance from us. So, I appreciate you guys all being in here for sure. Yeah, and John, Shelby. Let's see. Well, do I miss some of the chats right here? Dorian, Jim. See you, bro. Alex. Yeah, That was a long meeting, guys. They're retarded or something, bro. They can't think straight. So I'm in the water, I heard. I don't know, but yeah.
And knowing it's gonna be on the agenda, they don't do the paperwork or the research before the meeting.
Huntington was in here. Yeah, they don't know nothing about nothing. They just saying Jack Off was in here. Yeah, appreciate all you guys. Looks like you people headed down the street. I think he's gonna work on that video, guys. In case you missed any of it, he just started recording. He's gonna upload it now. As you can see, didn't nobody get removed again tonight. Nobody made no threats to them. All they did was use their voices, you know. And Solano will be here at the next meeting, guys. The DA is coming to the next meeting to tell us about how to handle ourselves, and we need to comply. So, we'll see how that goes.
He can eat a dick for all I care.
Fuck him. So, it's what it is, guys. We was here. We came. We saw. We conquered. All you guys that have been in here, appreciate it. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Helps that algorithm. Sorry that the internet is trash, guys. There's no phone service here. Stuck using their internet, and it is trash. Don't know what else to say about that. You guys have a great evening. Thank you all for being in here. Catch you on the next one.